Hey y'all, it's your girl Jazz, and I'm gonna start vlogging because why not? My first vlog is gonna be our trip to Guatemala in 2022, and the first stop that we made was at the National Palace. I am so grateful that Julio was there to translate for me because our tour guide only spoke Spanish.
Called the culture crash or the crash. Others call it as a genocide or the mass murder. This represents when two cultures began to war. In the middle you see the Unoman, the national hero, the national Mayan hero who stood up to the Spanish. He was then stabbed in the heart during the war. And you see above him is a quetzal covered in red, and that represents the national sorrow because when Unoman was killed, their hero was killed. That Quetzalcoatl came down from the sky and bathed itself in Unoman's blood to carry on his legacy. On the right side, you see the sun god, essentially viewing the carnage, and on the left side, you see, and to represent the Mayan religion. On the right side, you also see another sun, but that one is a cross that represents how Catholicism came to this country. The contradiction is that they came with the cross, but on the other hand, they came with swords. So that shows the contradiction of the Spanish bringing peace, but also bringing war to this country and to these people.
This tour took about 45 minutes, so if you have time to check it out, I'd recommend it. Next stop is Tikal. We decided to fly to Flores, where Tikal is, instead of driving, because driving was going to take 8 hours versus this only less than an hour flight. Once you get there, there are going to be a lot of taxi drivers that can take you to the pyramids. This takes about another 45 minutes from the Flores airport. Once you get to the entrance of the national park where the pyramids are, there will be a lot of people that will come up to the car to try to offer you their tour guide services. And honestly, I recommend it because it is significantly cheaper than going to TripAdvisor and spending $400 US on a tour guide. Luis charged us 100 quetzales a person, which is equivalent to $15 US. Our tour guide was amazing. He was very passionate about the pyramids and just talking to us about the history of the Mayans. He also speaks English and Spanish, so it made it so much easier for me to understand and also ask questions. He said that it was okay for us to climb up the side of the hill to see and go on some of these pyramids. There are different pyramids that you have to stay off of, but there are some that you can go on and explore here in Flores. Here is an original carving of the rain god Shak. At the center of this courtyard is an altar, and this altar is still used by indigenous Mayan people. This is another one of the pyramids that we were able to climb up. This had a staircase going all the way up to the top of the pyramid where you could see the tops of the trees and the tops of other pyramids. This view is absolutely breathtaking. According to Luis, pyramids were built for different reasons. One was to commemorate any of the royalty who have passed, and another was to be able to look out for intruders so that people didn't try to come and steal their crops or goods. Unfortunately, we didn't get to enjoy the view too much because we got rained on. And I'm not talking about just a drizzle. It was showering. So I'd definitely recommend getting a raincoat or a poncho at the shop that's right in the parking lot before you go. The following day we went to Chichicastenango, and Chichicastenango is known for their beautiful, vibrant market where you can get a ton of souvenirs for your loved ones back home. The church at the center of the market is called Iglesia de Santo Tomas. And what's special about this church is that they practice both Mayan indigenous spiritual practices, and they also practice Catholicism. In Chichicastenango, majority of the people who live here are indigenous Mayan people, and a lot of these people actually only speak Mayan and refuse to speak Spanish. So the following day we got to explore a little bit more of Antigua. But before I show you that, this is our Airbnb that we stayed at. This was more like an estate and much bigger than we really needed. But this was the Airbnb out of all the ones that we had chosen that was the best value and also had the best ratings. So we went ahead and chose this. This Airbnb has 8 rooms and we only really needed 3. It also has a beautiful backyard that has a swimming pool and a sauna that we were able to hang out around and enjoy. One of the tourist attractions that I really wanted to check out was Hobbitenango, and this was inspired by the movie The Hobbit. And there are different attractions, different rides and things like that, and a whole bunch of different photo ops. And this is the sketchy truck that we took up to Hobbitenango from the parking lot. And down at the parking lot is actually where you purchase your ticket. So walking into Hobbitenango, it feels like you're walking into a different world. It's so cute. There are horses that you could ride. There is a big, huge swing that you could ride. And they have awesome drinks. They have beer up there. And they even have different activities such as archery that you could also try out. That is pretty much our trip to Guatemala in a nutshell. I couldn't capture every single moment, but these are the ones that I really wanted to share with you all.
De mi ser, y cómo no, si eras mi todo.